everyone, welcome to this tarot read. Thank you very much for joining me. So we are just going to go ahead and jump on into it. And this is going to be a general read, guys, so it may or may not resonate with you. That's just fine. You might even find sort of bits and pieces speak to you. Take whatever messages feel right and make sense. Those are going to be the ones that are meant for you. We're also going to draw a tarot token at the end of this read. This is going to be like our energy card. We had a bunch of these guys. I want to pop out Distant Horizons. Ooh, I'm going to tell you what I see. I'm going to tell you what I see in these cards. I do see somebody traveling. Not like, oh, we're going to go travel. We're going to expand our horizons. We're going to go do something fun. I see like a running away. Like somebody's traveling to run away from something. Run away from something. Running away. Oh, they're running to family. Somebody is like, they're running to, and they've created a situation in which they're having to like leave, having to flee, having to try and go back to somewhere where they have a support system. It is to like try and hide from something. I do feel it in this Great Fortune card. It's like somebody made their bed and doesn't want to lie in it. It's like they got caught. They got caught with something. You know, they're like, I'm out of here. I don't want to take responsibility. And somebody did catch the short end of the stick here. I do feel like this despair card is sort of, I see the words like left behind. So this is what they've left behind. This is what they're fleeing from. As is somebody they left in a bad situation. Somebody who had to find out something about them. Somebody who had to like, somebody like had to uncover a truth. Uncover a truth. What is this truth? Oh, we do have, okay, so the courts are involved here now. This is what I'm saying, this official person, this occupation. Now the courts have been brought into light. I do feel like somebody was in some sort of a commitment with somebody else, some sort of a contract, a commitment. This might be a marriage. And I do feel like they've stepped outside of whatever this contract is. And this is what they got caught doing. They got caught like breaking this contract. But they don't want to be held accountable. And that's why I feel like this running, this fleeing back to like a family home. Back to sort of where they're from, their hometown, their parents. This is like going back to where they feel like they have a support system and people who will hide them from, oh boy, yeah. So we are going to be talking about a marriage where somebody stepped outside of that. Somebody stepped outside. We're going to grab some more cards here. You know, that wealthy man, you look at him and obviously like your first thought is somebody who has lots of money. This is not the vibe that I get from this card. I feel like we're talking about a different kind of wealth. We're talking about the commitment and the contract that this person already had that existed, that they stepped outside of, like not recognizing the worth of the situation that they were in, and that they actually had a wealth of somebody who loved them, like a kind situation, a committed partner. And for some reason they felt this need to step outside of this, for this courtship card, like to start looking elsewhere, to break the contract, to break the commitment that they made to somebody, to spend their life, that respect, that honor, be loyal. It's like they stepped outside of that. And this is the person who is left in despair. This person who's left behind. This is their spouse who they stepped away from. And they are, like I said, they're having to go through the court system now. There is a divorce that's happening. This person does not want to participate in it. They don't want to be held accountable. See, they know, and I can feel it in the cards, this person knows they're going to get the shit end of the stick in this one, because they are going to be held accountable for what they did. They are going to be held accountable for this stepping outside, this breaking the contract. And it's like they're trying to drag this out for as long as possible so that they don't get held accountable, so that it never really becomes real. Oh boy. So whatever they did, I mean, we have the imprisonment card. So I do feel like whatever they did, it was more than just stepping outside the relationship. I feel like there's more to it than this. This seeking other relationships. There's something darker going on in these cards. There's something darker going on in this situation. Something that someone can really be held accountable for and actually spend jail time for. So I don't know if this is going to be like the people they were seeking to have a relationship with were like underaged, or there's something illegal going on there. Or if this is like hiding assets and not wanting to participate in the divorce because they're trying to hide assets, to try and hide money, so that somebody, the other party here, so it doesn't get their half of things and what they've earned. They are scared. They are scared about going to jail. They're being scared about being held accountable. There is something that's going to come out here. There's some sort of evidence that will come out in this court case that makes this a possibility for this person, which is why they're running scared, which is why they're trying to hide. Poverty. It's just like assets and money. Assets and, oh, okay. I see what this is. This person, they broke trust in a lot of different ways. So not just in courtship and stepping outside the marriage in that area, but financially as well. They actually lost money. This is what's going to come out in court. There's some sort of a fraud here that they have committed against their spouse and put their spouse in a very bad situation financially. And it's like, when this comes out in court, when all of this comes out, because it will, this person is going to be looking at jail time. I don't know if they stole money or they invested inappropriately, but they have committed some sort of a financial fraud. And it actually has left both parties in a very nasty spot financially. I do feel like they sort of built wealth together. They built a life together. Both parties worked hard. And then it was like quietly behind the scenes, this person like lost all of their money. This person lost both of their, that's like from both their partners. So when this divorce happens, when assets go to get split, it's going to come out that there like are no assets to split anymore. Or it's just like debt. It's just a debt. We're going to grab a few more cards here. This health card, bad health. See, with this bad health, I don't feel like an actual sick. I feel like more like depression. Like I get pulled back to this despair card. And like this is what they've put on somebody in this situation, stress. The word stress comes to my mind, like really heavy stress. Their house, their living situation, I do feel like that is in jeopardy because of this fraud. And this is part of why it's going to come out, is because they have these mutual assets, things that are in both their names, things that will have to be divided in this divorce. And it's like, we're going to realize through all of this that some of these assets are going to be sort of like taken back by the banks, foreclosed on. It's like there's liens against them that somebody was not aware of. There is heavy stress here because somebody is left, this spouse is left in such an awful spot. Like really, like they don't have money to look after themselves. They're worried about losing their home. They're worried about financially everything going to shit. And that's on top of knowing that their partner was unfaithful and knowing that their partner was stepping outside the marriage and now is running because they don't want to take responsibility for what's going on. They're sort of trying to hide from it all. Adjudication. But this will go to court. It's going to go to court. Everything will come out in court one way or another, whether this person shows up for it or not. This shit is going to come out in court. It's all going to come clear. We're going to grab one more of these guys and we're going to move on to the Gilded Tarot to clarify everything. Child. You know, on this child, you know, you look at it, you might think, hey, these people have kids. What I see in this child card is that this person is like a big baby. This person does not want to grow up. They don't want to take responsibility for their actions. They don't want to take responsibility for their choices. They are trying to hide from their past. They are trying to avoid their past. They don't want it to catch up with them. And somebody is really hurting here. This Queen of Cups, she is representative of this person who's left behind, of this spouse that's left behind. It's like somebody is deep in these emotions. Somebody's really struggling with this sadness, with this despair, with finding hope. They're learning about this bad financial spot that they've been left in. They had no idea. Like, this was a surprise to them. All of this came as a surprise. This was not something they expected from this person. This was something that was very much hidden. And that as they went through this court process, because it was the affair that came out first, or the attempt to have an affair, and this is what brought the relationship to an end. This is what started this whole process to begin with. And as they started moving forward with this divorce, and sort of finding a lawyer, moving through, you know, the assets and looking to divide things, that's when things started coming out, the financial side of things and how bad shit actually was, and realizing that somebody had pretty much lost all their money. Somebody had put them in an awful spot. And now they're having to dig deep for this inner strength. Like, this is going to take a lot of perseverance, a lot of endurance to be able to get through. I see, like, there's hard times ahead and a lot of rebuilding. And they're feeling like they're really having to fight here. They're having to fight this person. They're going to have to fight to rebuild too. I know that's not a nice thing to say, but whoever this is who left, this spouse who stepped outside the marriage, who committed fraud, who left, this person put both of them in a spot where they're both having to rebuild. That person's they're gonna be spending some time in jail most likely before they get their chance to start rebuilding. But their spouse is just like left holding the bag is how it feels. And like having nothing. Like their world was turned upside down. Like they thought they had this certain amount of wealth. They thought they were in this certain place financially. And it's like that's been completely turned on its head. And this is like their home. This is their legacy. This is what somebody worked really hard to build. And it was completely lost by somebody else, which I think is probably one of the most heartbreaking things. Because it's one thing if, you know, we make our own mistakes and we put ourselves in a bad spot, but to have somebody that we trust do it, and to do it very quietly and then find out in this kind of a way is so extremely hurtful. So this person is having a hell of a time. I do feel depression. I feel anxiety. I feel stress. I feel worry in these cards. Somebody's future feels extremely uncertain, and they're having to rebuild financially from the ground up too, because of somebody's selfishness, because of somebody who is just not willing to grow up. Somebody was like a big baby. Somebody's in this page energy, being selfish, only thinking of themselves, being sort of arrogant. Do you have that Lovers card? So again, we are talking about, you know, there was this affair that happened or was trying to happen. And this is what brought everything out into the open. And this Chariot card is definitely for this person, this spouse who's trying to persevere, this spouse who's trying to move forward. It's like they're having a hell of a time because they were betrayed. They were betrayed in many different ways by this person who they trusted, this person who they tried to build a life with. I do feel on some level when all of this comes out in court, the person who's running, the person who caused the fraud, they will be held accountable for a lot of it. Like the one who's worried, the spouse who's been left behind, they are stressed too because they're worried that they're going to face some of those consequences. I do feel like when this comes out in court, that's not something that they're going to have to face. It's going to be shown who did what. Who did what? That this person had no idea this was going on. They are still going to have to rebuild from it though. They're still going to, you know, feel the consequences. But in terms of like legal consequences, like going to jail, this is not something that they're going to have to pay for. The correct party will be held accountable for that. And it's like they did it to themselves too, because I kept feeling like with that wealthy man card, like somebody had a wealth in their life that they didn't realize. They took for granted, they didn't appreciate, and that they abused. They abused and they let go of. It's like this person was a total fool for not being able to see what was right in front of their face, for being able to see that they had a loving, committed partner, as somebody who they were building with, somebody who was contributing to building a life with them. And this sort of skewed way of looking at things and being selfish and looking elsewhere, and then really abusing the financial situation and not telling somebody about it. They're like losing everything that was built, everything that both parties worked hard to build together, because both parties put in for this. I can feel that in the cards. It's like this wasn't just one person earning income or one person building, one person whatever. This was like both people put in. Both people put in, but one frickin' lost it all, and did it in a dishonest way and lied about it too. We do have Judgment. She is my karma card. She represents like getting back what you put out in the world. And so to me, and this is what I was feeling in the other line of cards, is like the correct party will be held accountable for the fraud. And the correct party knows that too, which is part of why they're fleeing. They know it's inevitable that when this comes to court, when all of this goes down, they're going to wind up having to pay a big price, a big price. So right now, they're trying to juggle, they're trying to run, they're trying not to take responsibility, they're trying to drag it out for as long as possible. But it's, like I said, it's inevitable. This is going to come out in court. I could see it in that adjudication card, like one way or another, whether that person is standing physically in that courtroom or not. All of this shit is going to come out, and the order will be given that that person has to pay the price, whether someone has to, you know, go and get them and make them, you know, take them to prison, or whether they're standing in the courtroom and they go from the courtroom to prison. One way or another, they're going. It's going to happen. That person is going to have to answer for what they did. And we do have that Empress card there too. So I'm going to say it, and you guys probably aren't going to like it because it's tough. It's like this spouse is going through a really rough time with this Despair card. This Queen of Cups is speaking to. This next chapter of their life is going to be difficult. This is going to be full of healing, full of rebuilding. It's going to be a long road ahead. But they will not have this negative person in their life anymore. They will be sort of like the captain of their own boat, the captain of their own vessel, of their own destiny. So now, from now on, whatever hard work they put in, they will be able to reap the benefits of. They won't have to worry about somebody else sort of quietly pulling the rug out from under them, which is what happened. It's like they're in charge now of building their own abundant harvest, working towards their own abundant harvest. And like I said, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of rebuilding. But this ending is something that will benefit them in the long run, because the person who's leaving their life is somebody who can't be trusted. It's somebody who is not an equal partner, who can't be counted on. They're not honest. So it's like having this energy removed is like a chance for this person to build for themselves. It's a chance for them to rebuild, and they can trust themselves that they're doing the right thing, because now they're the only one that they have to worry about. They don't have to worry about a secondary energy. They're undermining their work, undermining their hard work. This is a new path for them. This partnership coming to an end, this next leg of their journey, it's not going to be easy. Like I said, healing, rebuilding, but it is going to work them towards an abundant harvest. This is something they can build for themselves. They can count on themselves to do the right thing. I do feel like this is going to involve moving as well, physically moving, and it might just be, you know, moving to somewhere different in the city. I do feel like it's probably moving to like a different state, a different province. It's going to involve a pretty big move for somebody, because I do feel like the housing situation was part of what somebody screwed over too, was part of what the other person caused trouble with. We do have that Ace of Swords. It does represent victory, and I do see that for this spouse in this new chapter of their life. Like I said, it's going to be a hard road. That is not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of rebuilding involved because of the damage that somebody else did. But I see that this person is capable of doing this. And I see that this is the direction they're going to choose for themselves. We are going to grab one of these little tarot tokens. And this is going to be kind of like our energy card for the day. So this one is... This one is the Magician. This is a perfect one. So this Magician coin, the Magician, represents having all the tools that you need to be successful in life. That ability to manifest what you want. And that's what I already felt in the cards from this person that's left behind. They're going through a very dark time right now. They're going through a very hard time. This new chapter, this new path that they're on is going to be bumpy, but this person is capable of manifesting abundance in their life. They're capable of finding healing and manifesting the blessings that they want. There's this need to sort of believe in oneself, to believe in one's goodness, and that truth, honesty, and integrity will always win out. It earns you that good karma, and that good karma will come back to you at some point in time. And I do feel this person moving into a new stage of abundance in their life. Like I said, this is not going to be easy. It's going to be rocky. It's going to be a lot of hard work to repair the damage that somebody else did. But I do see that it is going to happen, and it will be moving into positivity. Alrighty guys, I hope that you enjoyed that read. If you did enjoy it, if you found value in it, please hit that like button, that subscribe button. It definitely helps these messages to get out there. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care.